Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Algebra 2. Welcome again to room 15, where it never ends. And I'm glad we have some more people back today. We have Nate, Caitlin. Who else has been missing here? Zach, you missed yesterday. And Seth, of course, is back. All right, but we do have some people missing still. But we concluded yesterday, if you recall, problem 11. And we ended up getting this far, didn't we? Is that right?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Questions on number 11? So basically for number 11, what we did is we took the text of the problem, set up a system of equations, translated the system of equations into a matrix, an augmented matrix, and use that augmented matrix in our calculator to solve this system of equations. Okay? And so I want you to go look at number 12 and set up a system of equations. I'm going to call on somebody to give me that system of equations. What word in this text here is equivalent to an equal sign? Well, combined, that's what that is. That's sort of that's an adjective because it modifies age. So your equal sign is going to be a verb. Okay? What verb here is your equal sign word?
Some.
That's not a verb.
No.
What is the verb? I think there's only one verb in here. I see.
Combined.
No, that is an adjective.
Times.
No. What is the only verb? It appears 4 times in this thing. Is your equal sign. What is that? Do I need who's your English teacher?
Is. Age.
Is, thank you.
Oh.
Thank you. Here's your equal sign, right? There's an equal sign, there's an equal sign, and there's an equal sign. And it appears here too, but this, surrounding these 3 equal signs, is your system of equations. And sometimes it's is a lot, sometimes it could be makes, produces. It's a verb that's going to be your equal sign. So who is your English teacher anyway?
Miss Hollister.
Miss Hollister, okay, all right. Mrs. Hollister, I asked the people here in this, what is the verb here?
I have. Person of known.
And she's just going to shake her head and say, man, this is what I have.
She's already disappointed in us.
Yeah, she really is.
But here's what happens with Mrs. Hollister. By the time you take English from Mrs. Hollister, you should know that is a verb, right?
I did.
Sorry.
Yeah, you did. And when were you taught that is was a verb?
I haven't learned that yet.
You haven't learned that yet? But you should have been taught that in probably elementary school,
Oh.
right? Yes.
You need to go to school slow.
Slow and really up.
Yeah.
I would. Probably learn.
Is he like 6?
He's 7. He's in second grade.
Okay, I'm going to choose somebody to give me my systems of equations.
There's a whole backstory.
He's a young learner.
Did you come up with Slope Dude? Did you
No.
find it somewhere?
Larry, did you find
No, what happened with Slope Dude is I went to a teacher's conference a long time ago. It's been over 10 years ago. And there was a lady who taught about slope dude who used that as a teaching thing. And the way she had it is she says what you do is what she does for class is she took a cap and some gloves and a shivery and all that, and sort of sets the dramatic stage for that. And so I had the idea to take that concept and make a video out of it. And so it was her idea, but it was my idea to make a video that had
So
that.
you had the first slope dude video on YouTube?
I think so.
There's literally a slope dude death.
Yeah, so
It's
what
all
happens
over
is people make takeoff videos on that. I see them a lot of times and I comment on them.
It says he fell down an undefined slope.
Yeah, yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, they do that. So anyway, I'm gonna call on somebody to give us a system of equations here. So I don't know if he's ready for it. He's been missing. He probably hasn't been watching videos, but Nate, I have you chosen here for this one. So you got a system of equations here, Nate?
I'm gonna keep Ron on how to do it.
Pardon me?
I'm gonna keep Ron on how to do it.
Okay, all right. Go in here. Let me watch video.
I was sitting with an exclamation mark, actually.
All right. I'm gonna choose somebody else here. Okay, Zach. So Zach, what do you have as a system of equations here?
I thought it was Nate's turn.
No, it's your turn.
It was, but he was. So what did you get, Zach?
I don't even know why you're talking.
No. Okay. All right, here. Okay, let me do this. I've had two swings and misses here. All right. So I'm going to head up differently. Who has a system of equations out of this? Anybody? Really?
I really don't know.
Do you have one,
I'm
Seth?
iffy.
Okay, Seth. I want to see if you can give me something. Okay, Seth raised his hand, but went kind of like this, right? So Seth, what did you get out of anything so far?
I know there's 120 in there somewhere, so
Okay.
I'm just trying to.
Okay, let me give you another hint. So the combined ages of three relatives are that. So
Would it be like how we did number 11? It'd take
yes,
something plus something plus something would equal 120?
yeah.
So it'd be the James.
Okay.
Dan, and
Let's have James be X. How's that? So James is X,
Y, and Z.
and then we'll have James is X here, right? So James is X,
Dan.
and Dan is going to be Y, and then Paul's going to be
Z.
Z. Okay. So now, what systems of equations can we get out of that, Seth? The combined age of three relatives is 120 years. So what is that going to be?
It'd be
And we're up.
James is 3 times the age of Dan.
So let's do that. So James is 3 times the age of Dan. So James, we'll say it like this. James is 3 times Dan, and Dan is Y, right? So that's one equation, okay? One equation. And we need to have 2 more, right? Okay, what's going to be another equation?
Is 2 times the sum of.
So Paul, that's Z, right? So Z is 2 times the sum. What is 2 times the sum of James and Dan? What's that going to be?
2 parentheses x plus y.
Okay? So there's a second equation. Very good. We need one more, right? What's our last one? I'll give you a hint. It has to do with this first sentence here. And it's going to be equal to 120.
X plus y plus z is 120.
Okay, that is our system of equations. Is that very hard? That shouldn't be hard, right? Pardon me?
That's all you do?
Well, what it is, it's our system of equations. We can solve that from here. We're going to do one more thing with this. We're going to go ahead and change this into a augmented matrix, so we can do this in our calculator. Do you have a calculator, Nate? You can get your calculator. All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Seth. That one.
Yes, ooh.
Okay, that's here.
Yeah, you have these papers too.
It's mine.
Well, you need one of those? All right, let me- I got one.
I didn't know what it was.
It's your hair.
Oh.
All you have to do is the 5, 6, and 7.
It's hot in
Yes,
here.
it is toasty in here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is.
What happens, we have a furnace here that blows hot air out of here. When it's hot air, I don't know exactly what temperature it is, but it's probably over 80 degrees. And it blows warm air until the thermostat turns off, and right now it's turned off.
Thank God.
But it's going to turn on again when what? When the room cools down below 68 degrees, boom, it'll turn on again. And when it is turned on, it's going to blow out that hot air until
Third
it,
and fourth period.
so it's going to be,
Slouches.
yeah. So anyway, this is our system of equations. We can go ahead and solve it without, we can solve it, but we want to get this into the augmented matrix form. So here we have this one right here. We're going to try to get numbers on the right side. So if we subtract 3y, what we have is x minus 3y is equal to 0. And so we're going to go ahead and put in our augmented matrix here, we're going to put 1x minus 3y plus 0z equals 0. So that's one equation here. And the second one, we have z equals 2x plus 2y. And how do we go ahead and fix this one here? Well, what we can do, anytime you have an equation, you can replace, you can get rid of these by taking them over to the other side of the equal sign and making them what? If I take this 2x over here, what does 2x over here show up as 2x over here? Okay, nobody taught you that? That's why you're, what it is, you can take anything and move them on the other side, but you have to make that negative. So 2x over here becomes negative 2x over here. 2y over here becomes negative 2y over here. And then we have 0 left. So we can rewrite the equation as negative 2x minus 2y plus z is equal to 0. And so we can write it up here as negative 2, 1, 0. And finally, the last one we can write is 1x plus 1y plus 1z equals 120. So we have that. So that is our augmented matrix. And then to solve using an augmented matrix, you go to your calculator here, and you get that by pressing second matrix, and we go over here to our 3 by 4 matrix edit, 3 by 4. So you come here, that means we have 3 rows and 4 columns. And so we go and look at this right here. So our first row is going to be 1, -3, 0, 0. So 1, -3, 0, 0. So that's going to be our first row. Our next row is -2, -2, 1, 0. -2, -2, 1, 0. And our last row is 1, 1, 1, 120.
102. You got 102.
Did I? Okay, let me go ahead and fix that again.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you for that. Let me see if I can shortcut here. 120. There we go. That looks better, right? Yeah, and what it is, and I'm glad you caught me in that mistake, because it is easy to make mistakes when you enter things. We have that in our calculator, and once we have that, does everybody have that? Nate, do you have that?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to, Caitlin, you have that? We're going to clear this out now by pressing second quit. So we have a blank screen here. And next we go to second matrix, and we go over to this submenu math, and we come down to choice B, which is RREF. It stands for reduced row echelon form. Press enter. And then we go to press second matrix one last time, and we're in the names submatrix. We press enter to enter matrix A. We close that off. We get our answer here, like this. And what this means is we have x is equal to 30, y is equal to 10, and z is equal to 80.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, so we have 10, 30, 80, and we have this set up here like this. And so, so we have is, the first one we have is James is James is 3 times the age of Dan, but X is,
30 is equal to x.
so 30 is equal to X? I have it in the wrong order. Oh, 30, 10, 80, yeah, okay, I do have the wrong order. It's 30, 10, 80. Whew.
Oh, he's years old.
Yeah, okay, so now it makes more sense. So we have James is 30 years old. 30 years old. That's Y-O, years old. And we have, next we have Dan. I'll just say Dan is 10. And last one we have is Paul is 80. So I guess it has to be that he has to be like great-granddad, he has to be grandson, and he has to be great-grandson, right? That probably will make it work out. Okay? All right. Let's go to this one right here. So I want you to do number 13 and set that up similar to 11, similar to 12.
James and Paul. Justin, you and Paul.
And so in this one here, what is your verb going to be here?
Sold.
Sold.
I think, yeah, well, here's what I think. And here it's a little, it's not straightforward. Okay, the first one, there were total, okay, stock A had 4 times. And so what that is had is a verb, right? So had is one verb. What's another verb?
As.
Was equal to, right? That should be easy, right? Was equal to, that's a verb. What else? Yeah, I'm thinking this one here might be one here. There were a total of, or sold, I don't know which is going to be a better one. Maybe were. Well, so we got 3 verbs there to create 3 equations with. Okay? Okay, for this one here, we have Preston. So Preston, what systems do we have here? What are your equations? You got any equations worked out?
X equals.
So you're saying stock A is X?
Yes.
Okay. You could just leave A, but we'll make that X, okay? So had. So you're saying B is Y?
Yes, sir.
And C is going to be Z? Okay.
X equals 4 times Y.
4Y. Okay. Is everybody good with that as one equation? All right, good work. You got some other ones now?
For Z, it's going to be Z equals X plus Y.
Okay, C is the sum of, okay, that's going to be A. All right. Is everybody good with that? Is that a good equation? Okay, we need one more. You have one more?
X plus Y plus Z equals 10,000.
Okay, is that very hard? That's not that hard, is it? Okay, how do we fix that up so we can, how do we fix that up so we can put that in our matrix form here, right? We already know that we can put X plus Y plus Z equals 10,000, right? So that we're good on that one. What else can we do?
Z equals X plus Y. Those two like ones.
Okay, yeah, what we have to do is we have to put these to the other side. So we have to subtract these, so we're going to get is negative X minus Y plus Z is equal to 0. So we get -1, -1, Z, 0. Okay, what about this one here? What can we do with this 4Y to get rid of it? So subtract it. So we have X minus 4Y equals 0. So we get 1, -4, 0, 0. And that, my friends, that is our system. And you can solve that in your calculator, right? You should do that. And I'll call somebody else to give us the answer here. I think that's good. Put the word. That's this one. Okay, next one we have is Carly. So Carly, what do we get for this? With her TI 83 plus calculator, and we'll do this still. Has the technology to do it. So 4,000, okay.
Y equals 1,000 and Z equals 5,000.
Okay, does that make sense? So 4,000 of A, 1,000 of B, and finally 5,000 of C. Does that answer make sense? A little bit? So that should be it, right? So Nate, did you know how to do this now? Okay, got it. Good. Okay, what I want you, we're going to skip 14, and we're going to go to 15. So we'll just do 15 and 16. So what I want to do is I want to call on somebody in a minute for number 15. So 15, we have Seth. All right, Seth, what do you think?
Do you want me to solve it and tell you the answer? Or?
No, you don't need to tell me the answer, you need to tell me, you need to find the student's error, okay? What error did the student make?
On the bottom, it's only 3 across, it should be 4.
Okay, you should have 4 columns, is that what you're saying? Okay. So let's go ahead and correct it. So Seth, what are those four columns going to look like?
It should be 5, 7, 9, 0. And then on the next one, it should be 1, -1, 1, and then -3.
And last one?
The last one. Is it 0, 8,
8, 1,
8, 1,
0,
0, and 12?
12, okay. So is that going to be our right matrix for that, augmented matrix? Yeah, it is, okay. So that's going to be our answer to number 15. And you can go ahead and solve it, but they're not. Anybody go ahead and solve it?
I did.
Did you get an answer for that?
I got 1.25 to -2.
Okay. 1.25 to negative -2.25, okay. All right, so it does have an answer if you work it out. But they're just asking here, the question is not to work it out, it's just to get the right setup, right? Thank you. All right, Dustin, I'll give you credit for that too, that's good. Okay, 16, critical thinking. Explain why the following system equations cannot be solved. I'm going to call somebody here in about another minute. Why can that not be solved? Okay, we have TV. TV,
Yep.
why can that system not be solved? How many equations do we have there? We have 2 equations. So you need to have 3 equations? Yes, you need to have 3 equations to solve 3 unknowns. So that's the takeaway there. That's the answer. So 3 equations needed. You stick that in there. All right, and so is that the last one? So we'll put here, put your 3 equations needed. Solve for 3 unknowns. Now, I want to show you one last thing here. We'll go back to the YouTube channel. And
Sing a song.
no, I'm not going to do that. But what I'm going to do is this. Last night and by the way, you talked about Etsy store. There's the link for it right here. See that? Etsy.com, shop, DVD. See that? That's where it is. So anyway, I go to videos. And right here, this video here, I created yesterday. I wrote up here. It is 29 minutes long.
Feels weird. Picking it up. Because I can see that shield.
Get that money up.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
about solving this four-equation system.
So we got this 4-equation system of equations, see that? So how are you going to solve that?
Of equations using the Gauss-Jordan elimination method
Okay, first thing you do,
is go through,
you can set it up like this, right? You see how this gets set up? All right, now, this video here is how long? 29 minutes. What do you think the 29 minutes was spent doing here?
Talking, just
Talking, yeah. It was setting this up, solving this without a calculator. So I want to show you what that looks like. I'm going to scroll over to the far right and show you what it looks like here. And so there it is.
Thank goodness for calculators.
So, yeah, exactly. Thank goodness for calculators. So that's the point I'm trying to make here. Thank goodness for calculators. Because what this does is your calculator will do in the blink of an eye what took me 29 minutes to do, to explain. And I'm explaining to a public audience too, right? So it might have taken me a little bit less time to do that, but look at all those steps. And how easy was it to make mistakes along each of these steps?
Easy.
Every one of them, every one of them. In fact, I'm going to get this right the first time, probably. I'd be lucky to get this totally right first time around. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, do you have your papers to turn in? You can turn them in tomorrow.
Yeah, but.
You can turn them in tomorrow. Turn them in tomorrow. It'll be good.